Hi, I'm Casca and welcome to the Great Costube Sew Off. Super awesome book hoarding by Bianca is hosting the first Great Costube Sew Off, and I just had to join in. Inspired by the Great British Bake Off, participants will join in with 3 challenges. The first in March is the Signature Challenge, and that is to make an item using a free or indie pattern. The second in April is the Technical Challenge, and that is to make an item using recycled materials. And the third in May is the Showstopper, and that is to complete a UFO, or unfinished object. Since this is March, I'm going to be doing the Signature Challenge, so I went onto the Mood website and found a free pattern for a super cute blouse. This is a PDF pattern though, which means I need to put it all together, so let's get cracking. Okay, so this is where we're at with the pattern. As you can see, I didn't quite get enough fabric. I can make the tie bit work though, if I make it a little bit narrower and I do it in 2 sections. It'll mean having a seam down the back, but nobody's going to notice that anyway, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so it's a very tight squeeze, but I shaved off 1 inch on each side and now it fits. They're still pretty wide anyway, so that's not a huge problem. The only thing is I'm going to have some awkward seams. Not the end of the world, at least it fits.
How are you getting on?
Not too bad. As much as I wanted to keep true to the pattern as much as physically possible, I did end up having to make some adjustments. It's only to the tie around the neck though, so that's not the end of the world. Other than that, I seem to be doing okay. Everything's cut out fine, everything fits. The bugs and butterflies are actually in the right orientation, which is very important. So yeah, looking good so far.
Have you ever made anything like this before?
I have actually done some Victorian and some vintage shirts before, but I've never done a modern shirt. Even the very first shirt that I made with the zebras on, I used like a 60s style pattern and then modified it myself. So this is my first time using a commercial pattern for a modern shirt. I'm hoping that my experience with doing Victorian shirt waists will help me in the construction of this, although there are some bits that are a bit different, like the placket at the front. I've never done one that just folds over before. So fingers crossed, I should be able to make it work. Right, the instructions want me to fold this over by ½ inch and then a full inch. I did end up having to use a little bit of the selvage edge on this because I was running a bit tight on the fabric, but luckily anything showing will be on the inside, so nobody will ever see it. Guess who didn't read the instructions all the way through and probably should have before starting, because I have serged all my raw edges and the instructions tell me that I need to do French seams. So what I'm going to do is just make my seam allowance a little bit bigger to accommodate for the extra fullness that will be there from not doing those French seams, because I'm not unpicking all that serging. So anyway, front placket bit is done. Now all that needs to be done is to attach the fronts to the back on the side seams and the shoulder seams. The instructions also want me to do French seams on my sleeves, which I haven't serged, so I am going to do that. And then I think it's adding gathering stitches. I've just got to double check that though. Okay, so French seams are nearly done. All I've got to do is stitch along here and turn them right way out. I've read the pattern instructions, and what it wants me to do is do gathering stitches along the top of my sleeve so they can be gathered up into the arm side, and then they've said bind the top edge with bias tape. I'm thinking I might just serge the edges. It's going to be easy. And I've already ruined things by serging pretty much everything else as well instead of doing French seams. So yeah, I'm just going to serge around this top edge. It's going to be a bit more difficult now that it's stitched together, but should be fine. Gathering stitches have been done, and I've also serged along the top. I'm thinking I'm probably going to give it a little break for tonight though, just because it is actually dark outside now and artificial lights are incredibly harsh. So I will catch you tomorrow when I set the sleeves in and do the necktie. It's a new day and I've got to put these sleeves into the bodice. One thing about these sleeves is they do have a definite front and back, so I've got to make sure I don't get those mixed up. You can tell the back because it is longer, and the cuff, also the bit that goes into the arm side is a little bit further in on the front than on the back. So what I'm going to do with these is gather all this up, put them in there, and then we'll be on to cuffs. Okay, so sleeves are on. I've added some gathering stitches to the bottom, and what I need to do now is gather all that up into this. This will be sewn on right sides together, then that will be folded and I'll have to do this probably by, it says in the instructions to slip stitch, so I'll probably do that and not just be lazy and stitch in the ditch. Okay, please excuse my horrible bed head. I've got bits that want to stick out everywhere. Anyway, we have a pretty much completed shirt. These cuff bits just need to be folded inside like that and slip stitched in on the inside. I have also stitched together all the various pieces of my neck tie thing. These just need to have the seams pressed open, and then I need to attach it basically like a collar, so it's right sides together. Attach it to the outside of the neckline, then fold it in, hand stitch it on the inside. And on these end pieces, they will get stitched inside out and then turned right way round. That probably didn't make a lot of sense. I was rambling a bit, but as I show the construction footage, hopefully it will start to come together. Okay, so as you can see, I have attached this bit to the neckline of the shirt, and then I've stitched all the way down the length of it. So what I need to do now is clip my corners and turn it right way out through this gap here. So I'm going to quickly do the other side of this, and then I'll need to press it. Okay, so part of me likes it, part of me doesn't. I think the main problem is it's a little bit too big, kind of all round. I'm also used to shirts being a bit more fitted, like this one, there are only 2 darts, like in the side, and then nothing, so it's a little bit baggy. The sleeves, like, they want to just come down and fall down, which makes it look kind of silly. I'm tempted to unpick this seam and have it so that, like, put a little button on there and buttonhole and have it so that it can actually close like that, and to have it tight around my wrist, because then I'll get the nice bagginess of this bit, but it's not going to be doing that. Other things, shoulders, they're a little bit off. They need to come in a little bit. And I do like the puff. The puff looks good. It's just if it was like here, that would look a lot better. And the bow, I have actually got a pin in this to bring it higher up. Originally, it was like right down, like underneath my bust. I think this pattern was originally made for somebody with a much larger bust than me, because that would explain why it's just hanging so low. But yeah, just in general, it's overall about 1 inch too big all round in all areas. It's salvageable though. There are things I can do to fix it. I can easily bring these shoulders in. If I stitch up here a little bit, then I can bring this bow up. Maybe put another button in to just bring it up higher. That should be fine. Like I say, I can adjust the cuffs. But on the whole, I do quite like it. I do think it's quite pretty. I think once I've made those changes, it will be a nice wearable shirt. I love the fabric. It's so cute, and I definitely think it was the right choice for this shirt. It's light enough that it's got a little bit of flow to it, and it's not as structured as like a heavy cotton. It's just right. So overall, I can't say whether it was a success or not. I'm kind of on the fence. I think once I've made some changes it will be, but for now it's a bit meh. Thanks again to Bianca for organising this whole event. I will be doing another video in April for the technical challenge. If you enjoyed this video though and fancy giving it a like, it would be very much appreciated. I'm always open to your suggestions and constructive criticism, so anything you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to see more videos of me trying to make things, then why not subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified next time I upload a video. I do my very best to upload a new video every 2 weeks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!